Okay, so are those guys actually gonna, like, come back anytime soon? Something tells me Geralt may not be referring to that encounter with the guards, if you know what I mean. Like, do we actually need to rush through here now? Otherwise, those guys could catch us? I have no idea. Is it actually a stealth mission? Is it actually secretly a timed mission? I don't know. We'll take our chances. Is this actually a loop around here, and guards will just appear on the other side once they make it to the other side of the loop? I don't know about that.
This'll be tough to open.
I mean,
Surprises
Witcher and a
never
sorceress,
end.
right?
See the ravens?
Oh.
Hard not to.
Ermian's spies.
Oh.
An indication that we're near his laboratory. I also sense a clear magical...
Also sense that we are staring his spies
There's a
in
ledge
the
outside
eyes,
this window.
which
We
maybe
must
is a
pass
good
along it.
indication that we should not head straight ahead. Otherwise, they will very obviously know that we are trying to do something. Just a second here. Just a second, Yen. I'm with you, but then again, couldn't we use a little bit more Temerian Rye first? So you're saying we actually want to go out here?
Seen uglier sights in my life.
Geralt of Rivia, being romantic.
I mean, that is pretty amazing stuff, right? The lighthouse over there, too. That's cool. That's very cool. Just hop up here? Sin, break through the window, or is this a door? Okay, that's a door. Really looked like we were just gonna crack open a window, throw a brick at it. That, again, maybe not the stealthiest of options. That everything here? No, it's not. Yeah, classic security measure. Heavily guarding your door with a bunch of spies, and then just leaving a door unlocked that goes directly behind the door that you are guarding.
Amazing how
Okay.
a hobby can render a man mysterious. Fascinating.
Especially a druid. Must be a real nature lover.
Taxidermy, it seems.
Looks alive.
Okay. Yes. What about the bear? Don't really seem to want to
Had
examine it.
one
There we
of
go.
Kaer Morhen.
Please.
What, you don't think our bear was as good as this, Kaer Morhen? I assure you, our bear was amazing. Yeah, I'm getting a sense that the taxidermy is going to be a bit of a recurring theme here.
100 loose and arrow if you saw that in the woods.
But the whole, like, oh, looks alive thing, that makes me a little uneasy. Feel like this guy's, well, he's some kind of important, I don't know, sorcerer's not the right word, but they said druid. Does that mean some of these things would actually come to life? We're supposed to explore the mysterious room, looking around with our Witcher senses. So I think we got the right idea here. I'm guessing that's the thing we're looking for. Dramatically placed at the end of the room. Just make sure that we aren't missing anything else, because I suspect that as soon as we do check that out, we might get thrown into a series of events. There's something over here. Door is red, suggesting that it is a quest door. Oh,
Are you alright?
Cut myself. The door's locked.
huh? Uh-oh.
The animals. They're alive. Yen, watch out.
Is this just a vision?
Monsters.
Oh, there. Strong.
Coming
It seems.
closer. They're everywhere.
Question mark, question mark, question mark. Usually means they're very strong, although these guys are not demolishing us. It does make me curious. We're taking them out. I feel like this is just an hallucination. I do kind of wish that we'd checked out the other thing first, because I deliberately avoided... Ah, yeah, it's the mushrooms. Mushrooms making us hallucinate, that's what it is. Yeah, and it's having us hallucinate differently than it's having Yen hallucinate, so we probably need to do something specific to end this hallucination, like maybe check this out.
A basin of water.
For teleprojection, a reflection of Ermion appears on the surface. Supplicants speak to it.
Okay. Still more the hallucinations, though. Is that the last of them? Kind of thinking that... Oh? Ooh, getting all woozy. Apparently.
What's happening?
You were hallucinating.
Yup.
You ran at Ermion's animals, sword flailing. I had to calm you.
Oh. Plus, that looks funny. We never mentioned this moment again. You didn't see anything. Nah, it's cool.
Must have looked strange.
Your years of vigorous training at Kaer Morhen finally paid off.
It's true.
Bested nearly all the stuffed beasts in here.
Please.
Fine. We've passed the trial of taxidermy. The door stands open.
Okay.
Let's go inside.
So, yeah, what I was saying before was I thought that... I expected this was going to be the big thing that was going to progress what we were trying to do here, so I deliberately tried to do this last, and then it turned out that wasn't the thing. It was actually the door. Ooh. Did we actually knock him
Looks
over?
alive.
That still looks alive to me, apparently. At least that's what Geralt says. Same thing for the others? They still red? Or they're all knocked over. That is cool. Most of them are knocked over. I guess we didn't actually find any of the deer. This one as well? Do we beheaded it? No!
Had one at Kaer Morhen.
Like this. Yeah, may make it a little bit difficult to cover our tracks. Just slightly.
I'll lock the entrance. We don't want to raise suspicions.
I think we already raised a fair bit of suspicion, actually.
Ah, our dear
Find the
Druid's
mask.
laboratory. We must search it thoroughly. The mask of Ouroboros must be here.
Okay. Sure.
Wondrous world of insectoids. Ritual plants. Ah, what do you know? Raymond Marlove. A biography enhanced.
Huh? And what's so significant about that? That means
Letter bearing Ermion's
correspondence?
seal to the Druids. Warns them about you.
Oh!
That brazen manipulator.
Is that so?
Shameless schemer.
Alright. Goes both ways, I suppose. Let's take a look at it. Should be where? No, not that. I assume it shows up. Oh, it's over here. Brother Druids, be forewarned that a sorceress has arrived on Ard Skellig. Her name is Yennefer, and she hails from Vengerberg. I know you are immune to feminine wiles, and will not let a well-draped skirt muddle your reasoning. Nevertheless, I warn you not to be taken in by her intelligence and refinement. I know who Yennefer is. I do not, however, know the true goal of her stay in Skellige. I see no point in asking her this question directly, for Yennefer is known for her cunning and eloquence. She says not what she thinks, but what she wishes you to hear. You must remember this is no second-rate sorceress. This is a person who breaks bread with the rulers of the North, and who most recently has been working with the Nilfgaardian Emperor himself. Familiar with courts the world over, she possesses an ability to manipulate that even the wiliest diplomat would envy. Yennefer has displayed an unhealthy interest in the site of the Cataclysm we are striving to study. Oh, okay. That's useful information. The Druids are studying it. We may have heard that from someone already, but I guess further confirmation in that case. I have not given her permission to go near it. Yeah, I do vaguely remember that Yennefer was saying that someone was stopping her from visiting it, and so it was probably the Druids. But I caution you to keep your eyes and ears open, all the same. The sorceress from Vengerberg is a stubborn and effective manipulator. I know that in the past, her and Croc's paths crossed. I suspect she will wish to use this old friendship for some ulterior purpose. What that is exactly, I will try to determine. Once I do, I will inform you in a separate letter. May the power be with you, brothers. Ermion. Okay. So it sounds like Ermion is perhaps someone who we want to be cautious around, whereas Croc might be our closest ally here in Skellige. It's good to get a better sense as to who we want to be, well, trusting and who we don't. Okay. That's helpful. Additional context. Little pipe?
Seems Ermion has real tobacco brought in.
Suggesting that they do not grow that here in Skellige. I suppose that, given how it's mostly cold and icy, maybe that makes sense. Mead?
Dwarven triple mead.
Okay, it has the exclamation point on it, suggesting that we might need that at some point.
Goes
Corpse
in
of
for light
Novigrad?
reading, too. The Corpse of Novigrad by Sasha Hadi.
Huh? Alexander Ho walks down the long corridor, delighted that the sounds of debauchery pouring out of the rooms drowned out the sound of his footsteps. The long-neglected brothel floor creaked and moaned, as though the wood regretted being witness to the lecherous scenes fed to it by this house of ill repute, standing in the very center of the pride of the northern cities. Ho had been generously remunerated for this visit by the wife of a silk merchant. She'd long suspected her husband of dabbling with loose women during his working hours. The case had seemed simple enough, banal even. A cheating husband, how many similar affairs had he unraveled? The worst was that his employers never truly wanted him to bring irrefutable proof of their husband's guilt. On the contrary, in their heart of hearts, they always hoped his investigations would prove their husbands model citizens and their suspicions wholly unfounded. This time, it truly did turn out that the woman's husband was no whoremonger, despite the fact that his trail led Alexander to a place in which fleshy pleasures were bought and sold. The door in front of which he stopped, following the instructions he had received from the gnome at the entrance, had a small plaque with the number 16 on it. Unlike the other rooms, this one was enveloped in an unsettling calm. Poe turned the doorknob and pushed the door open, and what he saw behind it far exceeded his worst expectations. Okay. Don't necessarily know what to make of that. What are we looking for in here? The mask? Okay, so
Laboratory worthy of an imperial alchemist.
this stuff probably is not going to be a mask, but sure. Anything else hiding here? My controller is vibrating. I don't think so. Big sword in the stone? Hold out, Carol.
Sword in a stone. Things begging me to pull it out.
Right. It's
It's not in the stone, don't you see? It's held there by a vice.
I knew that. Of course I knew that. I was just testing you to see if you knew that. So, fine, I guess you passed. Well, there's this. So, that's a thing. Let's check out other things first before we explore the secret room.
Signed to Uncle Ermion.
Little Ciri's handiwork. That's what she called him when he was her tutor.
Oh! He was Ciri's tutor? Okay, the plot thickens. Didn't realize Ciri and the rest of us had that much of a history with him. The thinking man? Geralt?
Looks like Ermion places something in the statue's hand.
Ah, it's the book on the ground. Absolutely, and that opens the secret door.
Need something else. Gotta look around.
Here is...
Look at this. A
useful
detailed
map.
map of the northern kingdoms. Even shows spheres of influence over the ages.
That
Out of
would be...
date.
Oh, I was gonna say, would be very cool to examine that in closer detail, though it is not written in English, which does make it difficult, at least for me, to interpret it. Though, interesting no less. Interesting, no less. I do like maps a lot. Oh?
Child's skull.
Hmm. Also, potentially something one could put in that person's hand. So, I would like to believe it would be that book over there in the corner. Not the skull. Could be wrong, though. What is this?
Ermien's wand. He's
Oh,
one of the few druids to use one.
okay. I mean, if we really wanted to sabotage the stuff that he's doing, we could take that, right? Maybe. You also seem very keen on this pine cone. That is a humongous pine cone.
Pine cone. Didn't expect this. A large female.
And that could also be the thing you put in his hand, I suppose. Or the tales of the wild hunt.
About the wild hunt.
Yeah.
The islanders believe the wraiths sail on a longship built of the claws of dead men.
I mean, it's not ridiculous. Let's read that one. Because wild hunts are relevant to us, of course. Is it in this quest item spot here, though? It did seem as though it was showing up as a quest item, yet I don't immediately see it here. Oh, it's right here. Right? Yeah. Let's check it out. The island folk of Skellige, like many nations of the north, they technically considered a nation of the north? I mean, we're way out in the middle of the ocean, but I thought we were also a fair bit further south. I don't know. Have to see it on a map. Hold a series of beliefs about the wild hunt as recorded in legends, myths, and fables. This horrifying phenomenon is said to herald the coming of war and misfortune. Characteristic of their tales, and distinguishing them from their continental versions, is that the islanders imagined the wild hunt not as a cavalcade of wraiths galloping across the night sky, but as a ghostly longship. The vessel, called the Naglfar, is said to be built of the claws of dead men. For this very reason, superstitious Skelligers remove the nails of their dead, expressly to prevent them from being used to fortify this ghastly ship. Yeah, that's pretty disgusting. In many legends, the Naglfar sails out of Morhog, land of chaos. Okay. So, we'll keep an eye out for ghostly ships. Sure thing. Then I think the one thing we've not yet picked up is this book over here. White Frost. We read this one? One can hear Ithaline's prophecy whispered at every market. Is this the prophecy that we heard a bazillion times in The Witcher 1? Garbled and reused by every village witch, delved into in any treatise touched on sooths and diviners, and in general, saturating our common culture. We all know that the time of the wolf's blizzard approaches, the time of the white frost, and that the world will perish amidst ice. But few truly understand the meaning of these words. The self-proclaimed prophets who shout out Ithaline's words mistake stars reflected in a still pond of the sky. For the white frost is no legend or mythical apocalypse. It is a natural phenomenon that can be described in the dry yet precise language of scholarship. The renowned scholar of thorn studies have clearly shown that our world is not the center of the universe, but one of 1,000 such globes spinning in the endless darkness of space. Ooh, well done. This space usually described as a vacuum, yet to do so is grossly misleading, for through this vacuum swims invisible to the naked eye the white frost. Okay. We do not know exactly what the white frost is. Perhaps a microscopic dust that blocks the incoming light of the sun? Perhaps infinitesimal particles of the sort postulated by Democritus of Banard, with the unusual property of sucking up warmth as a sponge does water? We know for certainty, however, that thanks to the telescopic observations of elven astronomers, the white frost, whatever it is, has already destroyed a great many worlds. The star systems in which it appears perish into lifeless hunks of ice over the course of a few decades. Furthermore, each scholar is agreed that the white frost will one day come to our world. Ithaline's prophecy, though based on magic intuition and not scientific observation, thus appears to foretell the truth. Many mages are skeptical about these about these theses presented here. I recommend they carry out the same experiment I have conducted in my own laboratory. Using the spell Portus Asterum, open a microscopic portal for 3.5 seconds to the coordinates of 0331489089270934. Yet before you do, dress in your warmest furs and ready an axe for breaking through thick ice. Is this Hermione who wrote this? Has he been testing out the White Frost? That would explain all the Wild Hunt reading material we've seen here, but that is awfully suspicious. Okay. So,
let's try again.
What do we want to go for here? Is it we can put in the mug of mead? The skull or the pine cone? Oh, okay, so the book isn't even an option. Is there anything... I mean, like, the skull would obviously be grim. You are a druid, so, like, maybe it's the pine cone? Mug of mead would maybe be the stereotypical Skellige option. I have no idea if anything happens if we do the wrong one, like maybe some kind of trap triggers. Wouldn't rule it out. I think I'm going to lead off with the pine cone.
What do you say we give it a pine cone?
Eh?
Nothing.
No. Okay. 0 for 1. Do we just go down the list? Try the skull would probably be the most interesting one and perhaps most telling. Like I said, would be rather grim.
How about a skull?
No.
Guess you're no indecisive prince.
Lastly, the mug?
How about a mug of mead? Statue or not, everybody needs a drink sometimes.
Sounds like that did it.
Seems like it worked. Who would have thunk?
Not I,
apparently. Enjoys jests achieved at the expense of others. I have a sneaking suspicion the mask will be in here.
Okay, also, where did you go? Well, there's something over there. Okay, there's Yennefer. This might be another good time to drop a quick save. Because, something tells me we're not alone.
Geralt, come here. I found the mask.
Yeah, but also, like... Do you not see this? That appears to be a golem, if I'm not mistaken. Yennefer? Maybe just take a second to look at other things that are also located inside this room. That are also perhaps, like, say, grunting and likely to attack us if we were to touch that.
We've got it. We must return to the feast quickly
before that golem attacks us. Come on, guys. That was pretty sad.
Taste this.
Really didn't notice it? Ooh.
Just wonderful.
Yennefer is attacking it with lightning bolts. I did want to try to Igni it. But what? Please give me back the stamina to use this on here. I am curious if Yennefer would actually take it out. It does seem like she's dealing decent damage. I mean, not a ton. I just wanted to remove your armor. That big Igni. Wow, that hurt. Okay, well, admittedly, I did not put on a Quen because I was so focused on trying to sneak in some kind of Igni. Now we'll put on the Quen, and now I'll actually fight you. And Yennefer has absolutely done all the difficult stuff here. Yeah, that'll break through the Quen. But we'll put it back on. Don't worry about it. You actually axing it? Whatever the official witch equivalent of axie is.
Hear that?
Smelled it. Gas. Grate still closed. Gotta think of something quick.
Oh, but I wanted to loot first. Hold on. I mean, the quest... Well, let's just see what it says here. So it says... No, hold on this. Look around for a way to escape the trap. Okay, I just saw the quest marker was pointing right in the middle, and I think that's probably not necessarily what we should be looking at. And we can light stuff. I don't think that's really the solution, though. We're probably about to...
druid will poison us.
Yep.
This vapor's deadly. We've got but a few minutes.
Teleport us out of here.
Think of something. Quickly. First thing to come to your mind.
Sure, that's better than choking, I
Hold on
guess.
tight.
Choke or wish I could kiss you. Not sure why that was necessary for you to teleport us, but okay.
Damn. I tore a hole in my dress. Wait a minute. I must mend it.
You're right. This is top priority. Forget about
You know how
the
to
wake.
sew.
Please. I'll enchant a needle.
Geralt, don't be silly. Wouldn't mind watching Geralt? No. I mean, we do need to get back to the wake. We've spent maybe all of 30 seconds at the wake itself, and about, I don't know, 15 minutes running a race outside and going to and from that, and then however long we just spent stealing from people who were at that wake. So, you know, it does seem like we probably do want to make our way back over there.
Really
That is the
wonder if
primary reason why
Croc would
we
be willing to
got
help.
here.
He knew Ciri well. She and Hjalmar played together as children. There. Good as new.
I mean, didn't even
Let's
see
get
the
back to the
hole,
wake.
so might have been fine anyway, but sure. Take your word for it.
Kraken Crate asked about you.
We went out. For a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
The claimants to the throne will step forth in a moment.
Good, we're just in time, somehow.
Now heed my words. There is no greater act of valor than to fight a beast cursed by men and gods. No greater deed than that done to serve the goddess.
Words of
Who's she?
uncommon beauty. We thank you. We will take them to heart. But now, let's begin. We have seen Bran off to the Beyond, and must now choose his successor. A king must be wise. A king must command respect. A king must have bollocks.
Right.
We've no lack of men like that. Let those who feel worthy of the throne of Skellige step forward.
Geralt just walks up. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. Oh? What is this person doing, might I ask?
My son could not be here this day. Behold his axe. Behold his will.
Come on, dude. One job to be here. It's gonna be hard for people to vote for you when you're not here on election day. Ah, okay, it's his daughter.
May the best man or woman win.
Now, do they fist fight? Is that what happens? Because they all dropped their weapons? Who brought a knife
What's
to the
gotten
fight?
to her?
She's your daughter, is she not?
Now I know why she said she'll sail to Speakerog. Ah, children. The older they grow, the more trouble they are. Come with me. All the
Until they're
more
not children
essential we
anymore?
talk now.
Or even when they're adults. You're probably right. But, I don't know. Seems like she's got the stuff to be the ruler.
How was it, Geralt?
Curious to see how that plays
The
out.
city was nearing womanhood. I remember well her nan, her mother, what they were like. They say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Ciri was impossible to control. No telling her what to do. Had to have things her own way almost always. Why do you ask?
Because he's having
No
trouble as a
specific
father.
reason.
Just asking for a
She
friend.
and Ceres, they're of a similar age. But we'll speak of my children later. First, let's speak of yours. Yennefer claims Ciri's in trouble, and you seek her.
That's right.
This is true.
If you require aid, gold, ships, anything, merely say the word. I'll give you all I can.
Okay, so I think
And I
this is
know
our
the
closest
last
friend in
lives.
Skellige. guy we trust
I'm
the most.
sure of it. When the blood of Rhiannon's daughters is shed, the sea grows white with fury. I'd mark such a storm.
Oh, right, and she's also, like, technically heir to the Skellige throne as well, or something like that, because she's heir to like, every single throne in existence, right? And I do vaguely remember that something in Skellige was on that list when we read that book that includes all the various things she's affiliated with. So, yeah, so she does have pretty strong ties to Skellige. Okay. Almost forgot about that. So, let's see, we could ask for help with Ermion, who is basically, it seems like our problem with him is that he's the primary person who's trying to stop us from investigating the place where we suspect Ciri might have shown up on Skellige. Or we could lead by saying we just might know where she is. Let's lead off with this one. This is the real problem, is we want to get to Ciri, or find where Ciri might have been, and then maybe Ermion is the big problem, or maybe there's just some other creative way to get to this place that circumvents Ermion and makes it so that he's no longer relevant.
Magic anomaly on Ord Skellig somehow related to Ciri, or so Yennefer believes.
It's my strong suspicion, but I can only know for certain by examining the site.
I saw the twisted forms, right unnatural. The druids were barely able to contain it. Explain to me, Yennefer, how Ciri might have caused this great catastrophe.
It's the place where she teleported
I'm
after she
intent
tried to
on
escape
learning
from
that
Temple
very
Isle
thing.
in Novigrad.
Which I will do as soon as
Maybe?
Ermion stops hindering my investigation.
Don't concern yourself with him. Druids have little trust for mages. But Ermion's heart is in the right place.
Is it?
Am I right to assume he does not know you seek Ciri?
It's of no concern to him.
As I thought. At any rate,
It sounds like we want to keep it that way.
Skellig's my isle. You've my permission to investigate as you
Okay,
see.
so maybe that's why we seem to see, because you're Croc on Crate, right? And like we were saying before, there are bazillion on Crate people around here. So maybe that's why we were seeing so many of them. This is their island. So we can thank you. I mean, yes. But also, do we need to talk to Ermion? Or is our plan just to try to ignore and circumvent him?
Wondering if I should talk to Ermion.
Leave that to me.
Okay.
Go.
Seems like
Seek
you'd be
and
more
find
successful
your
at it.
Cyrilla. If any ill befell her here on Ard Skellig on my watch, I'd never forgive myself.
Thank you.
No need. I swore an oath once. I aim to keep it. Anvol, tell the druid I must speak to him. At the usual spot. I've one more
I'm
matter to
concerned
broach.
about your well-being.
My children.
Feel like
You remember
you
Yalma?
could be in line to get
He
assassinated very
swore an
soon.
oath to kill the giant of Undvik. Set off and has yet to return. Whereas Ceres announced that she's to set off on an adventure of her own. Got it in her head that Udalric is not mad, but cursed.
Okay. Thrown around a lot of names that we don't know very well. First person you're saying is your son, right? The person who we just saw previously, you said was not able to make it today. Whereas the second person, Cirrus, is your daughter, and she's the person who is trying to become the leader of Skellige. But it seems like a lot of people have their doubts about her, and she seems like she's really ambitious, and you're a little bit uneasy about that. You're not sure if she's ready for all this stuff. And it does seem kind of strange that you are the Jarl of the largest island on Skellige, and yet you are not interested in becoming king?
Can't help wondering. Got no plans to vie for the crown yourself? Think a good number of the Jarls would support you.
A good number? Those opposed would be fierce, rabid. Madman Lugas would sooner see an Nilfgaardian on the throne.
Oh, okay.
Besides, a man should know when to step aside. Hand the tiller to the youth among us.
So, for political reasons, basically, you think there are other people who are a little bit too envious of you and would not want to have you on the throne? Okay. Fair enough. So, your son, you say, was trying to fight giants, but he hasn't come back.
Giants. They've been extinct for ages. Anyone actually seen the one on Undvik?
Aye, dozens of refugees have. The giant drove everyone off the isle. I've welcomed what remains of Clan Tordarachir and Ardskellig.
I heard a rumor that an unnatural frost gripped Undvik before the giant appeared.
That doesn't sound good.
At any rate, Hjalmar decided to kill the giant and give the isle back to its people. A deed worthy of a king, he believes. My son gathered a hearty crew at the new port. They were to sail to Undvik, then travel on foot to Oskar, the village. But that many lads should have killed the giant long ago. Thus, I thought to ask you.
You should start at the new port. Ask around. Hjalmar might have told someone there his plans.
Okay. So we'll investigate what has happened to his son. As for his daughter...
Take it Ceres wants to lift the curse.
There's no curse to speak of. Ceres has decided she must match Hjalmar and sought out a deed worthy of a queen.
Think she might need my help? You did plan to ask me for it. Why?
The thing is, I don't trust Ulrich further than I can spit. Ceres won't listen to me, or her brother. Yet confronted by a professional who will explain why she's mistaken, she just might come to her senses. So yes, I ask that you explain things to her and bring her back.
Interesting. I mean, my guess is that's not how that's going to play out. My guess is we're going to be ending up trying to lift that curse after all, which sounds like it'll be a lot more interesting anyway, so... Sure. Well, how about you,
If
children?
either Hjalmar or Ceres need help, I'll help them.
I do wonder if it's going to have to be
I
a
take you.
choose one of them
Now
and
that we're done, thank
not
you.
the other type of
Let's
thing,
get
though.
to work. We must determine if Ciri is still on Ardskellig. I'll change into travel attire and find you. Head south. The anomaly we should investigate destroyed a stretch of forest along the shore of the bay. A successful feast on all counts, Krach. I will see you later.
It was also, okay, that's one way to leave the conversation. It was also a funeral? I mean, feast, yes, but, can't help but feel like we were rather disrespectful of the other things that were going on here, like the wake. Okay. That does mean that we've now completed the first of these quests here on Skellige. Now, we're on to meet Yennefer at the site of the magic cataclysm. Let's just check where that is, but I'm thinking this is probably where we start exploring more of, I would think, starting off with everything in the city here, and then where is west? Is over here, further to the south and east. So, I think we explore the village. Obviously, there are lots of question marks here. I wonder, do we go for specific question marks? Do we instead go in the general direction of the main quest and just see what we happen to run into along the way? Like, there's a lot of area in between that doesn't have any specific things on our map. So I feel like we could very well run into a lot of things that we don't yet see. There happens to be a shopkeeper directly on top of the crash site. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not. I mean, maybe there's, like, the druids hanging out there. Like, people were saying the druids are trying to lock down the place. But if there just so happens to be a traveling merchant who felt like stopping by at this very moment, then that'd be pretty funny. We do also have other notice boards. And that does typically create additional question marks for us. It seems like with our first notice board that we picked up, we gained a bunch of question marks over here to the north, but not really any in other sections of any of the other islands. So I feel like maybe for that reason, what we ought to do is, like I said, explore the rest of the village here, at least a little bit more thoroughly, talk to more people, go into more houses and whatnot, and then I think from there on out, we might actually want to go over here and make sure that we check out this notice board, because I'm thinking once we pick this one up, I'm hoping that we gain a bunch more question marks over here, further to the west, or maybe kind of like just central area of the island. It seems like basically all these notice boards might potentially give question marks in the general area of the notice board, but if we want to get a better sense of where all the question marks are, we'll want to get to all of the notice boards. So closest one seems like it's this one here. So I think explore this area more thoroughly, and then we'll head back down over here. That is the plan. There is also seemingly... I thought there was something else on the map that's like even further over here. I have no idea how we actually get up there. It seems like we need to find another door through here and a pathway that gets us up on the actual mountain, which may be straightforward, or it may not. I'm pretty sure these guys would not be pleased with us if we took this stuff. Scribe? Maybe you'd be fine with it, but this guy who's swinging his sword and whatnot, probably not. Let's just take a look around, explore a little more thoroughly, like I was saying, see what else there is. We can go further up. I mean, I don't really know where we came from. Was this it? Yeah, it seems like it. Okay, so that's the main area. What I'm wondering is there any place higher up? It seems like going in this direction may lead us to exactly such a place, and that would seem like the way that we'd get up to other areas in the mountain. That's probably not safe to take. Yeah, but this just seems like a dramatic entryway into the place where we were before. Yeah. I do wonder if there are additional people for us to talk to. You're a captain? That's a little concerning.
Call that walking.
Were you captured and then your job is to dance? Suppose it could be worse. You know, you hear about, well, yeah, a lot worse things that they could have been doing to their captain, or captains. There's Croc. I do wonder if we could maybe chat it up with him even more.
Wanted to talk.
Anything else? Okay. I mean, we are, of course, seeking these two out, so I'm not surprised to see their names come up, but getting a general overview of what's going on the islands, that could be helpful too.
What's new in Skellige?
Of late, look seaward and you'll see their sun on a sail, staring right back.
You mean Nilfgaard?
We've yet to capture any of their crew, but only a fool wouldn't know they're planning something.
Okay. Okay. And yeah, just remind us what the deal is with your children.
Is venture going well?
Nah. Tempted
In the past
after
30
all,
seconds,
eh?
what has changed?
If you're itching to join them, it might not be too late.
Maybe I should visit Unvik.
Ask at the new port. Clan Todorok survivors lie around there. They refuse to hunt the giant, but they're willing to talk.
I do wonder if that's technically going to be a side quest or a main quest type of thing. I mean, seems like we're getting the big things from you and I suppose Chris as well. Or rather, Yen. So, that leads me to believe that maybe that is main quest material. And also because the main quest was just recently related to the heir to the throne. But maybe not.
Sorry, remind me. Where'd Ceres go?
Speakerog. Got it in her head that she must help Udalric.
How?
I have the same question. He's a brave man. Some say hot-tempered and hasty, but... if Ceres wanted glory, she'd have done better to sail with Hjalmar. As it is, who knows what ideas bat about in her head.
Okay, and I don't remember who this Hammond person is.
I'm looking for a man named Hammond.
We are, apparently.
What's so funny?
He's the chief pirate of Faroe, commander of a mighty fleet and a briar in every clan's arse. Though Holger's most of all, as he has to deal with him.
Still don't get what part of that amuses you.
You want something from him, that's clear. But Hammond has no patience for your kind. A few words, and he'll have you thrown in the bear pit. After which, you'll promptly kill him, and my troubles will be over. That is why I laugh.
Oh,
We'll see how
okay.
it goes. I'm off to Pharaoh.
There's a price
Not
in
necessarily
Hammond's
sure
head.
that's the case, but
Once you're done,
eventually,
come see
probably.
me. I'll pay you gladly.
Okay.